Okay, so sorry, I accidentally turned it off, and then I couldn't turn it on again. So here's the other one, and I've been working on this one, and actually, to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit baffled by this one. What now? I gave you this hint down here as a larger movement in which a sense, but well, I'm not sure giving you hints helps because it might kind of cut off your thinking about it. So I'm going to go through what I've tried to do, and maybe one of you guys can tell me what I'm doing wrong here. In this textbook, students are trained to perceive rhythm not as a series of individual notes, but as a larger movement that creates a sense of musical architecture. So I want to are trained, that's my passive. I want to put that into the active. So something trains something, and I want to make creates into something like is created. Well, if we start the first part, in this textbook, students are trained. Well, I can say that something trains students, right? Because as we saw, this is the subject now, but I want to make it the object. So I just changed this to trains students, and I say, train students. Now, the problem with that is I need a subject. Well, what's it going to be? Well, it could be teachers, I guess. We don't see that there, but we do have textbook. Can we get away with that? Can we just say this textbook trains students? Yeah, so, you might want to say, the textbook helps teachers to train students, but we'll just go ahead and use textbook. This textbook trains students, and here's where I have problems, is that I want that, well, I'm going to start to perceive rhythm. I'll show you what I was doing, and then I'll show you why I don't like it, why it bothers me. I could do this, that to perceive rhythm. Oh, try this. To perceive that rhythm, and now I'm going to say is created. Because right now we have I think I figured out how to do it. Creates a sense of musical architecture. Okay, I've got it. So I'm just going to go back to the basic principle. Creates a sense of musical architecture. Well, this is my direct object. Creates a sense of musical architecture. So let's make that my subject, okay, of this clause. Perceive rhythm as a sense. I still don't like it. I'll show you why I don't like it in a minute. As a sense of musical architecture. And now I can say that that is created by, so now I've got my, so first I got that into my active, and I've got this into my passive. Well, what's it created by? It's created, and here's the thing, not this, and so we're going to have to do a fancy thing. We're going to have to say it's created, not created, let's make that not bold, created not, come on, not by a series of individual notes, but by a larger movement. Okay, I'll tell you why I don't like that. It's because what the original says is that rhythm equals a larger movement. And now I'm saying that rhythm equals a sense of musical architecture, not that rhythm equals a larger movement. So I don't feel like that sentence says exactly the same thing as the original, but I can't figure out a way to make it mean the same thing. I mean, one thing I could try to do is say this textbook trains students to perceive rhythm, and then just go ahead and say it as a larger movement. But then, yeah, but then how do I get is created in there? I just I can't do it. So for some reason, maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe somebody can help me. I mean, I could write something. I could large movement that is created not by a series of individual notes, but then I can't say that. I could say, but by a sense of musical architecture. But that's not right. It's the rhythm that creates the architecture, not the architecture that creates the rhythm. This textbook trains students to perceive rhythm as a larger movement that is created not by a series of individual notes, but by a sense of musical architecture. I mean, that may be true, but it doesn't say the same thing as the original. So anyway, I'm going to leave that just to show you I have problems. You can see I tried to work on it here further down, and I've just been having trouble with that one. So just to let you know that, you know, if you found it a bit challenging, so do I on that one. I think the rest I can do pretty well. Again, I'm going to try to ignore. I'm not sure giving you that helped. Helps. So we'll start on this one. I think the rest are easier. When fewer goods are made available to consumers. Well, there's our passive, are made available to consumers. Well, let's go ahead and, now you might be tempted to say make consumers a subject, but is it the consumers that make the goods available? No. So to consumers is not the same as by. If we were going to say by, when fewer goods are made available by whom are the goods made available? Well, by, I don't know, how about manufacturers? So here's where we have to make up a subject. So we'll say when manufacturers, okay, there's other things you could say, when the market or something like that. When manufacturers, so now we can make that into make available, make fewer goods. Now, what was the subject, fewer goods, is going to become the object. Make fewer goods available to consumers. While, okay, now prices are being raised by inflation. Okay, that's a real simple one. All I have to do is reverse it. While inflation, but now we're going to have to change it to raises, yeah. Raises prices. Now we got the rate of inflation will be accelerated when consumers hoard goods that they most need. Well, be accelerated by what? You know? So we want to make that accelerate. Something will accelerate something. So let's try to get consumers up front. Then let's just say consumers will, oh, here we go. Goods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down to here. So instead of saying consumers hoard goods, I'm going to say goods are hoarded by consumers. Are hoarded by consumers. So see how I just turned that around? But here we got to get this that they most need. So I could do this, goods that they most need. But I need but I want to make that into the passive, don't I? So let's try again. Goods that are most needed by consumers are hoarded. I guess you could do that. Goods that are most needed by consumers are hoarded. I tell you, that seems awkward. That's why it's not as good, I guess. Are hoarded. And this accelerates the rate of inflation. I don't like that sentence at all. That is horrible. I especially don't like this And this is bad. I guess you could say which. Yeah, but I don't really like that. Which should really refer to like one thing. When manufacturers make fewer goods available to consumers while inflation raises prices, goods that are most needed by consumers are hoarded, which accelerates the rate of inflation. But anyway, I did get everything turned around. You can see that's there's my now I've made that active. I've made this is R needed. R needed is passive now. R hoarded is passive now. Um, make is now active instead of R made. R being raised, where's that? Raise is right here. Is now, oh no, I should make that italicized. Okay, like that. Whew, that wasn't easy either. When goods that are most needed. Oh, is that what I did? When goods that are most needed by consumers are hoarded,